He didn't even do that good at New England last year, though, was my whole point about this.
And Doug and I can finally admit that drafting Larry Johnson was probably a bad pick preseason call.
No, I'm not giving up on him yet. As I said, he's faced like a lot of tough defenses so far in the league. He's faced some of the top 5, 2 of the top 5 rushing defenses already. But, the whole offensive situation is bad. But we have to really move on to Oakland and New York.
They're in the top 5 because Larry Johnson was rushing against them, Doug. Next chart.
Well, I think some people would beg to differ. Like whoever's going against Baltimore this week, whoever's running against Miami this week, such as the guys for the Jets, Leon Washington, Thomas Jones, people are not running against those teams. They're averaging 3 yards per carry. These teams like Baltimore, New York, Philadelphia, and Miami.
And they all have great linebackers, and that helps too. And a good front four.
Well, let's see what Cedric Benson does. If he goes for 100 yards this weekend, then I'm going to be a believer.
And speaking of the New York Giants, they're giving up 15 to Oakland, and these running backs, Darren McFadden, I mean, if you're starting anybody on Oakland at this point, you probably have a lot of problems with your fantasy football team.
You got Chaz Schillens.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. You don't start any of these guys for Oakland.
And you cannot start any of these, even if you have these running backs, you can't even start them against the Giants. Don't do it.
No, it's just start all your Giants and bench all your Raiders. It's a pretty simple concept in this fantasy football world.
Really simple.
And hopefully you don't need us to tell you that. I mean, you should know that by now.
And maybe Jamarcus Russell throws for over 50% and completes 50% of his balls.
All right, Rob, we got another big blowout here. I mean, you're from Tampa. I know you're a big Bucs fan, but I mean, this is a total mismatch on paper here. Plus you were in Philadelphia last week, and so you have some.
Yeah, I did.
Pay some homage to the Eagles.
Well, I don't really like Philadelphia fans to begin with, but I think Philadelphia's going to catch an easy win here. Tampa, with their new head coach, they're in total disarray, offensively and defensively. Yes, they should have beaten the Washington Redskins, but no, they won't be the Philadelphia Eagles. I wouldn't start anyone. Maybe Cadillac Williams, or maybe like a Michael Clayton or Cal Winslow Jr.
Take a chance on a receiver, dude. You don't want to
want to run back in a blowout. I think it's going to be a blowout, so they're going to be throwing the ball a little bit. Look for McNabb won't be playing, so look for Kevin Kolb to shred that defensive secondary. That's just it's not the same. It's not the same secondary that Tampa Bay is used to having.
Are you going to start Josh Johnson though?
I heard that McNabb would be playing. Has that been?
Well, we don't know yet. He hasn't. He's still limited in practice. I think they might shelf him for this game only because it's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If it was a game like it's the Giants or the Redskins or the Cowboys, he'd definitely be starting. But I definitely, if I'm looking at it at a running back perspective, you start LaShawn McCoy. First rounder out of Pitt, great player. I think he proves why in the future he might be a top 4, top 5 round running back.
All right, I think we got like 5 more games at 5 minutes or something. Cleveland at Buffalo, boy, this is going to be a really boring game. And to be honest, I mean, I wouldn't really even start many people in this game. This side of maybe Terrell Owens, I might start Terrell Owens, possibly Lee Evans because the Browns don't have any defense. But, other than that, it's really not much to be excited about.
I'm going to come out with a bold prediction right now and say that Derek Anderson throws for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. I like this. I like the way he handled this. I like how he handled the offense last game. Getting handed the throne as the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. I like him a lot. I think that they also got a guy. Well, let's not forget about this trade that just occurred. Braylon Edwards got traded from Cleveland Browns to the New York Jets. In return, they got Chauncey Stuckey, a good wide receiver, very young, catch a lot of balls. But a guy you need to pick up is Mohamed Massaquoi. Caught 8 balls for 150 yards. He's still trying to find the end zone, but I think this guy gets it done, especially against Buffalo.
Yeah, Phil, is there something you wanted to say about Mohamed Massaquoi?
It's very confusing to me. I thought he was the 20th terrorist, but what do I know?
It could have been.
But he was good for that one game, though. Wasn't he really, really impressive?
I think his role. I think he steps up his role right now because Braylon Edwards is gone. And I think it takes a load off Derek Anderson's shoulders because this guy was just, he was troublesome in their huddle. Kind of like a TO, kind of like a cancer in that huddle too to be around.
Here's where I think Cleveland just really misses the boat because I think they could have easily made that trade and gotten a guy like Jericho Cotchery in return.
Well, we'll see if it comes back to haunt them. I think Atlanta and San Francisco is a very intriguing matchup. Like we said, a team going from the East Coast to the West Coast has a lot of problems, especially matchup-wise. But I think Matt Ryan and Michael Turner are going to step it up after this bye week. And like you're saying, Doug, Tony Gonzalez needs to find the end zone. And I think he will.
Yeah, he found it twice this year already. And this is actually probably one of the day's top matchups this weekend because these are 2 winning teams. San Fran and Atlanta both have several wins. And San Fran is, let's face it, is kind of a surprise team right now that could steal that Western Division.
And should be 4-0.
This might be a great NFL game, but let's face it, though, none of you guys are excited about this from a fantasy football perspective at all, unless you have Michael Turner.
Or Vernon Davis is tight end.
Michael Turner, Tony Gonzalez, Vernon Davis, that's fine. Houston's playing at Arizona, Phil. Arizona's given up 5 points. You think it should be more than that for the Super Bowl runner-up, but it's really not because they've been struggling a lot on offense, as we mentioned previously.
Now, we knew that there's always a Super Bowl team that struggles. I mean, and clearly this year it's Arizona. I mean, even Pittsburgh's had their struggles, but it's definitely Arizona. They have all kinds of issues here, Robbie. And as Robbie pointed out a couple of minutes ago, we have Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden, who aren't even a couple of top receivers.
Well, hopefully they get it figured out after this bye week. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Look to start Matt Schaub, Steve Slayton, Andre Johnson, Owen Daniels. Look to start all these guys. And I start Steve Breston or maybe
it's Breast Awareness Month.
Right. Or maybe you start a Chris Beanie Wells, the rookie running back at Ohio State.
And now for probably the premier matchup of the week.
I'm getting excited for this one.
That's why we're here at Denver. New England at Denver, Mile High, all this stuff. We got, Kyle Orton doing a great job. Denver, let me just give you my quick take, and I'm going to repeat the same take I took last week. Denver's not getting the respect. Last week they were 3-point underdogs at home. They said, I don't care. We're going to beat the Cowboys. This year, 3-point underdogs again at home. They feel like, and they're still undefeated, and they're still not getting the respect. And this is going to be a tough fight.
I don't think the Cowboys or the Broncos are good, to be honest with you.
I mean, the Patriots.
I think the Patriots are better, but they'll become a lot better once Brady gets better.
Right. I think Tom Brady will. I think he really will. And I like Brandon Marshall too. I wasn't really high on this guy at the beginning of the season because of the whole fighting between his head coach, player-head coach relationship wasn't that good. I think that Kyle Orton is now getting acclimated to that Denver offense, and Josh McDaniels has his team rolling. I like both these teams. I think that you start, like we just saw, Fred Taylor's out for this game. He's got ankle surgery. I think you start a guy like Sammy Morris.
I mean, Kyle Orton to me has always been a proven winner. I love him almost as much as I love Tom Brady. But let's go on to don't the Dolphins have a big game?
Well, I gotta mention one more thing here, Phil, about this game. The Denver defense is vastly improved. People fail to realize this. They have not allowed a single passing touchdown. They've only allowed 2 rushing touchdowns this season through 4 games. Tom Brady picked a bad week to try to get on track if this is what he wants, and he's not going to do it. And the Monday night matchup after Indianapolis plays Tennessee, which we're not even going to talk about, Indy should blow them away. Intriguing matchup between the Jets and Miami. Miami's going to try to continue to run the ball, and if I'm saying it wrong, Phil, his name is Chad. He may be forced to pass this week.
It should be a great game worth staying up for on that night, but we're going to let you guys go now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week on Fantasy Football Review. Goodbye, everybody.
Later. Yeah, it's a pretty